Star Wars fans might best recognize Domhnall Gleason as the sneaky General Hux who helps lead up the First Order. But the Irish actor has actually assembled an impressive resume over the last few years. From sci-fi extravaganzas to gritty period pictures, here's what you might have seen Domhnall Gleason starring in before he ventured out into a galaxy far, far away. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Star Wars wasn't Domhnall Gleason's first foray into franchise land. He also enjoyed a brief stint in the final Harry Potter films as the eldest Weasley kid, Bill, who's come back from working overseas to marry Fleur Delacour and take a nice desk job before the Second Wizarding War erupts. Although Gleason has joked that his red hair was the real reason he got the gig, his ruby locks had very little to do with the spell he'd cast over audiences. Never Let Me Go. Although he'd been working for about a decade before Never Let Me Go came out in 2010, the dystopian drama about a group of teen clones who have been bred to serve as organ donors helped launch Gleason into the mainstream. His role was relatively brief in the picture, but sharing the screen with an all-star cast that included Keira Knightley, Andrew Garfield, Carey Mulligan, and Ella Purnell certainly didn't hurt. More importantly, the film connected him with screenwriter Alex Garland, whom he would later work with again on several other projects. True Grit. In the Coen brothers' acclaimed Western adaptation, Gleason played Moon, a soft-spoken outlaw questioned by Jeff Bridges' U.S. Marshal. The character meets a rather grisly end after answering some questions for Bridges' lawman, but while his role isn't big, it's certainly memorable. And Gleason was happy to accept such a brief part in the picture because, as he put it, he'd rather do one day on a really cool movie than 6 months on something crap. Dredd. Gleason continued his trend of small roles in good movies when he popped up in the cult hit Dredd as the clan techie in the Peachtree slum block. He's the grungy computer kid who's running the security cameras and communications, but it's understandable if you may not have recognized Gleason buried under all that grime. Black Mirror. One of Gleason's most heart-wrenching roles came courtesy of the acclaimed sci-fi anthology series Black Mirror, with the episode Be Right Back, which co-starred Haley Atwell. The story follows a woman grieving the sudden death of her boyfriend after he's killed in a car crash. Gleason offers a haunting performance as the boyfriend, and then an AI reconstruction of the young man's personality designed to help Atwell's character grieve his passing. The two stars' work made the episode one of the most acclaimed in the anthology series, and Gleason said he loved the ambition of the segment, noting it asks some really interesting questions in a way that some of his favorite films asked really interesting questions. About Time. Trading in the supporting roles for a leading man gig, Gleason headlined the romantic comedy About Time alongside Rachel McAdams. The story focuses on a man who learns he has the ability to travel back in time, which he uses to woo the love of his life. With the film marking one of Gleason's first starring roles in a major production, he said he had to get used to being in pretty much every scene, saying, "There is something wonderful about turning up every day and knowing that not just the character, but the whole movie kind of rests on your shoulders." Ex Machina. One of Gleason's most buzzy roles came in the daring sci-fi flick Ex Machina, where he played a low-level tech employee tasked with testing a new AI and android at a private research facility. The film reunited the actor with writer-director Alex Garland and resulted in one of the most acclaimed movies of the year, which only helped advance Gleason's career even more. The Revenant. This powerful period drama included a small but compelling role for Gleason, who played fur trader Andrew Henry alongside Leonardo DiCaprio's nigh unkillable Hugh Glass. Gleason was understandably proud of how The Revenant turned out, but he did admit the shoot was exceedingly brutal. The story takes place in the dead of winter in the wilderness, and he said that when the actors were actually working and shooting, it wasn't so bad. Things went downhill during the downtime though. As he said, when you're out there, in and out of the river, standing around and not knowing if you're going to get to your bit that day, those days suck. American Made. Gleason also starred opposite A-lister Tom Cruise in American Made, a tale inspired by a real-life pilot recruited by a CIA agent to fly secret spy missions above Central America. Gleason described his character as basically a composite of different needs for the script, adding that he was glad the filmmakers made him part of the story's action. The Rest. Gleason has also starred in a bevy of other picks, including Frank, Unbroken, Brooklyn, and Darren Aronofsky's divisive psychological thriller Mother, which Gleason said spoke to his urge to be a part of something that shakes people to their core. Indeed, if there is one common thread tying his eclectic filmography together, it's that most of his roles do leave a lasting impression. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.